Meanwhile, screenshots of his tweets apparently shared from Tesla CEO Elon Musk's official Twitter handle have gone viral on social media sites, with captions erroneously stating Musk is intending to buy Facebook and then erase it, just as he did with Twitter. "It's not a political statement, and I didn't do this because someone dared me to do it," Musk tweeted after deleting his company's Facebook pages. Just don't like Facebook. Welcome back to Tech Trends for All. Before we proceed, kindly subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated when we release new videos. Without further delay, let's dive in. Let's first look at whether or not Elon Musk actually will acquire Facebook. On April 26, a tweet seemingly made by Musk started circulating on social media. It stated, "Now, I'm going to buy Facebook and delete it." Haha. Media reports, however, tell us that no such tweet was ever made. Searches in the web archives and Twitter's advanced search functionality also didn't reveal any similar tweets. Even if you casually check Musk's Twitter feed, it is simply not there. So it seems like Musk has not publicly declared his intent to buy Facebook or Meta, or if he did, he deleted the tweet fast. However, we should remember that Musk's purchase of Twitter was a bit of a surprise. So it doesn't mean that Elon Musk won't acquire Facebook and delete it, since he finds Facebook to be rather lame. He sees no real utility in maintaining Facebook account, and he didn't even know that Tesla and SpaceX had Facebook pages. Once he got to know about it, he ensured that the pages for these companies were made inactive. In that sense, Musk is undeniably correct. Perhaps social networking sites like Facebook have outlived their utility to the consumer. For Musk, acquisitions like Twitter were not just about the money, but about the future of human civilization. Now let's look at some reasons why Elon Musk would want to purchase Facebook. Firstly, Facebook, or Meta, has way too much control over our lives. At present, Mark Zuckerberg is the chairman, chief executive officer, and controlling shareholder of Meta Platforms. Now, Meta Platforms is a technology conglomerate that controls Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and other technology-related companies. Given the widespread usage of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, the holding company Meta Platforms and Zuckerberg have way too much control over social media and discourse. For someone like Elon Musk, public platforms occupy a special place. They need to be trusted by many people and inclusive of opinions. To him, these kinds of public platforms are the future of civilization. So the amount of control and power that a single conglomerate has over all our lives is an issue of concern. That is probably why Musk tweeted that the state of affairs at Facebook gives him the willies. If you want to consider how Meta Platforms is run, we can look at what Frances Haugen has to say. You may recollect that Frances Haugen, an ex-Facebook employee, had disclosed tens of thousands of Facebook's internal documents and gave some disturbing testimony before the United States Senate regarding certain unethical practices. She stated that Mark Zuckerberg had just surrounded himself with yes men who told him exactly what he wanted to hear. Now, Elon Musk recently talked about how strange the ownership structure of Zuckerberg companies was. There was a good chance that even 14 generations down the line, the same family could have control over this powerful conglomerate. It would undoubtedly have an impact on the freedom of speech and expression. Musk stated that Twitter would not have such a rigid and restricted ownership structure. Similarly, Tesla also doesn't have a restrictive ownership structure. If things can't get any stranger, just remember the fact that Zuckerberg is nicknamed the Eye of Sauron. Zuckerberg claims that it was an affectionate nickname. If you're willing to buy that explanation, we have some magic beans to sell you. Secondly, many industry observers state that Facebook is struggling to reinvent itself under Zuckerberg leadership. Though Zuckerberg had brought early successes, results after that are somewhat mixed. On the other hand, Twitter will soon be run by a non-founder, Musk, who was previously just another Twitter user, albeit a rich one, will now have a say over how Twitter functions. This is perhaps the shakeup that even Facebook or Meta Platforms needs at present. Many observers, including Frances Haugen, have been cautiously optimistic about Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. The third reason revolves around Elon Musk's ideas about free speech. So Musk has made it clear that he wants to make Twitter an arena for free speech. Though Twitter can choose to regulate the content posted on the platform, Musk wants a more expansive definition of free speech. For Musk, political bias and unnecessary moderation were two issues that had to be addressed. Instead, the marketplace of ideas would allow truth to prevail. These changes would be welcome on Facebook also. Another reason we can look at is the popularity of Musk's Twitter acquisition. Though many power users on Twitter have been rallying against the takeover, Recent polls suggest that Musk is winning the hearts and minds of Americans. According to research published by the Harris Poll, there was broad approval of Musk's Twitter takeover. Nearly 3 in 5 Americans supported the takeover. In addition, 2 in 3 Americans felt that Musk would improve Twitter as a product. One of the most exciting numbers is that around 75% of millennials believe that Musk will have a positive impact on free speech on Twitter. Similarly, Daniel Zhao, a data scientist at Glassdoor, found that interest in job openings in Twitter was up 263% between April 24 and April 30. So these signs tell us that Musk's acquisition has had a net positive impact. Lastly, let's look at how Elon Musk and Facebook have differing visions regarding the potential of AI or artificial intelligence. Musk has been vocal about the dangers of artificial general intelligence, and he stated that it can never be considered a substitute for human intelligence. It's not like Musk is some kind of Luddite. He has been involved in AI-related ventures like Neuralink DeepMind and OpenAI for over 2 decades. Tesla, for instance, relies on AI for many of its features, including self-driving. So when someone with this background is urging caution, it may be better to pay heed. In Musk's opinion, AI could pose a fundamental risk to human existence as a whole. On the other hand, Facebook is heavily investing in AI-related projects, and they came out criticizing Musk, even going to the extent of saying that Musk had no idea what he was talking about. Now let's look at what Musk has in store for Twitter. Once Musk completes his acquisition, he plans to make the Twitter algorithm open source so the general public can see the algorithm at work. Twitter has a complicated algorithm, and it may not be possible for the average person to understand much from it, but this is a positive step towards transparency. Twitter can then create simplistic explainers that inform people about how their data is being used and processed. So this is Musk's position. If we look at Facebook or Meta, they have a closed, proprietary system. Their AI relies heavily on mining user data, so Musk could steer Facebook to a path where it relies less on exploiting user data. Musk has made it clear that his acquisition of Twitter was not guided by financial motives. He was looking at a larger picture and the future of human civilization. He also mentioned he had a plan B if his bid failed. Does plan B involve Facebook or Meta? Now let's look at whether it will be easy for Musk to take over Facebook. If you look at the way shareholding is structured in Facebook or Meta platforms, Mark Zuckerberg is said to have 55% of the voting shares. Reports tell us that there is a dual-class structure, where Zuckerberg's shares have 10 votes, while other shareholders have 1 vote per share. It's no wonder that Musk said that we were likely to see Zuckerberg the 14th controlling the company. Twitter or Tesla don't have this kind of hierarchy. Though Musk may enjoy a degree of influence in Tesla, and he is the largest individual shareholder, he doesn't have complete control over the company. Another interesting fact is that Twitter has been up for sale in a way for quite some time. Mark Zuckerberg, Google, Apple, Disney, and even Salesforce have been interested in acquiring it. With Jack Dorsey stepping down from the position of CEO, the company became a sort of soft target for acquisitions. So Twitter was an easy acquisition compared to something like Meta or Facebook. Another factor we can look at is revenue. Twitter made around $4 billion in revenue last year. It's nothing compared to the $115 billion in advertising revenue made by media platforms. So Meta has deeper pockets and would be more resistant to takeovers. Now let's look at whether Musk should delete Facebook. Facebook has been a part of our lives for around 2 decades. Most people have photographs and experiences that are only documented on Facebook or Instagram. It could be a photograph of you and your friends from 15 years ago. For a comment that someone penned for you, we will lose an important part of our lives if Facebook is deleted. It's unlikely that move would go down well with anyone. Yet there is one way that Musk could change Facebook. He could delete or remove some of the nastier aspects, like the way the company processes, harvests, and stores user data. He could bring ethical practices back to the fold and make it a global platform rather than a place that focuses on advertising. And that's a wrap. So it seems like Musk would have a hard time acquiring Facebook, but it would definitely be an exciting development. Should Elon Musk set his sights on Facebook next? Do you think Facebook is lame now? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. That's all I have for you guys for today. If you liked watching this video, please make sure to click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so that you may be notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching.